Welcome into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. I'm Alex Annapolis. Want to welcome you into Zions Bank Stadium as we get ready for the 6A Girls Soccer Championship game between the number one in the RPI, the Lone Peak Knights, getting ready to take on the number 3 in the Davis Darts. Opportunity here for Davis to contend for this 6A title, while the Lone Peak Knights have an opportunity to defend it. It is the defending champions here in the Knights taking on the Darts. Celebrations as we get ready to start. Both teams take the field, and we are moments away from starting the 6A championship game. It'll be the Davis Darts in the white, shooting to the right of your screen here in the first half. And it'll be the Lone Peak Knights in the black with the gold trims shooting to the left of your screen. The Knights take the field. The Darts are set. And we are getting the final preparations ready to start this 6A championship game. The Davis Darts student section over there on the far side in full force, ready to go. And we are underway. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 80 minutes of the beautiful game as we get ready to crown a 6A champion of this 2024 girls soccer school year season. Hendricks stealing the ball for the Knights over on that far sideline. Comes through. Packer will shield that one and see it go out of bounds and out. A goal kick coming up here for the Davis Darts. It'll be Lexi Lund, the senior goalkeeper, to boot this one away. Gets it out. He goes over Hendricks. Falls to Fong Savith. Now out to Hamely. Hamely will play it to Smith. Eiley Smith goes to Sellers. Sellers trying to get around Burbage, but nicely done as that ball back in play by the Darts. Villarreal comes across, boots this one away. And now giving chase over on that far sideline is Burbage. Out of bounds and out. A throw-in for the Knights on that far sideline. Ball booted away by Lydia Neville. Out of bounds. Off the deflection. Throw-in for the Davis Darts. Ball played in. Brought down by Ruby Lee. Only to find a dart. Nicely defended by Hamely. And stepping up to intercept is Potter. Now it's Fong Savith for the Darts. Plays it back. Supports herself all the way back with Candace Packer. Packer will play it up. Falls to Willard. Willard goes back out to Fong Savith over the top. Takes a bounce. Collings off her line, and Eliza Collings collects. Ball booted away by Eliza Collings. Comes down. And nicely defended by the Darts. Does take a touch off of Maudsley, and it will be a throw-in for the Knights. Taken quickly. Lone Peak here in possession. Ball by Denny, looking to play it into Sellers. Defended by Cadence Packer. And it'll go out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Start here from both sides as both sides just feeling each other out. Lexi Lund will boot this one away. Falls to Denny as that ball goes out of bounds and out. A throw in here for the Darts. Francis to throw it in. Comes out to Fuller. Fuller looks to play it in the direction of Hendricks. Nicely done by Packer to clear this one away. Falls to Willard. Willard gets around Ruby Lee. And nicely done by Zettner to win that one back for Lone Peak. Zettner trying to play it out of danger. Smith giving chase. Smith boots it up the sideline. Intercepted by Simone Packer. Packer does a good job to shield that from Sellers. Sellers and Packer going at it. A foul called on Sellers. And a free kick coming up here for the Davis Starts. .36:05 left to go in the first. A free kick coming in for the Davis Stars. An opportunity to whip one into the box off the set piece. Fong Savith. One on the wall. It'll be Sam Sellers. For Lone Peak, everybody at the back post as we get set. There's the whistle. Fong Savith whips it in towards the middle. Headed away by Lone Peak. Giving chase here is Kauser. Bringing it in for the Davis Starts. Can't connect over on that far sideline. A throw-in now coming up for the Lone Peak Knights. Ball back in play. Hendricks trying to flick that one through. Lands at Denny. Denny now in the middle. Denny will play it out wide. Comes out to Smith. Smith will boot this over the top. Tracking it down is Denny. Francis there with the defensive effort to shield that one off. It goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Davis Darts. Hameli trying to track that one down. One here by Maudsley. Trying to play it over in the direction of that far sideline. Nobody there for the Darts. Out of bounds and a throw-in coming up here for the Knights. Take a look at these two sides. In this 6A championship, the Lone Peak Knights 19-0 overall coming into this one, 10-0 in Region 3 play. They are the defending Region 3 champions. The number one in the RPI, 101 goals scored on the season, only 7 goals against. An incredibly impressive defensive record for this Lone Peak side. Only the 7 goals conceded. For Lone Peak, if you want to find their last loss, you have to look back to last year on August 18th of 2023 when they lost to Coronado 1-0. Since that Coronado game, this Lone Peak Knights have not lost on a 35-game win streak heading into this one. Got the first round bye. Beat Bingham 8-0 in the second round. Got a quarterfinal win against Lehigh 2-0 and beat the Syracuse Titans in the semifinals 3-0. For the Davis Starts, under first-year head coach Dylan Richens, 17-3 overall, 9-1 in region played, finished at the top of Region 1. They are the number 3 in the RPI, 68 goals scored this season, 19 goals against. Their 3 losses, one coming to the 5A champions in the Olympus Titans, 3-1. Lost to Mountain Ridge 2-1. And lost to the Syracuse Titans 4-3 in an overtime thriller in region play. Since that loss to Syracuse, they are on a 10-game winning streak. That ball cut inside. Fong Savith brings it in. And it'll go out of bounds. And now Davis got the first round bye with that number 3 seed. Beat number 14 Weber 4-0 in the second round. Got a quarterfinal win against Corner Canyon 2-1 in a double overtime thriller. And had an incredible dominant performance against the number 2 Mountain Ridge in the semifinals earlier this week, beating the Sentinels 5-0 in the semifinals. For the Lone Peak Knights, they're looking for championship number 3 and looking to go back to back. They are the defending 6A champions. For the Davis Starts, looking to get back into the championship column. That ball into the hands of Lexi Lund, 6-time state champions, looking for championship number 7, the last one coming for the Darts in 2022. Ball booted away by Lexi Lund. Hamoli trying to bring that one down. Now out to Fong Savith for the Darts. Nicely cut out by Brooklyn Fong Savith. Trying to take it up the sideline. Gets it to Packer. Packer now cuts inside. Packer trying to get that one back through. Nicely defended by the Knights as Denny plays this one out to Smith. Smith goes up to Sellers. Sellers trying to turn. Ball goes out of bounds and out. A throw in here for the Darts on the near sideline. Francis throwing this one in. Ball goes out once more. A throw in now for the Lone Peak Knights. Ball in. Maudsley goes to ground. A foul called and a free kick coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights, or excuse me, for the Davis Darts, as Candace Packer will take this for Davis. .30-20 left to go here in the first half, all tied up at 0-0 between the Lone Peak Knights and the Davis Darts. Ball comes back out. Here comes Fuller trying to get onto the attack for Lone Peak. Fuller with options. Plays it through. Ball gets poked and deflected and into the hands of Lexi Lund. And cleared away by the Darts. Fong Savith bringing that one down over on that far sideline. Plays it to Burbage. And now ball played out. Low throw-in coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. It'll be Zettner to throwing it in. Falls to Denny here in the middle of the park. Denny pokes one through. Fuller with a nice flick. Nobody there as Cadence Packer boots this one away for the Davis Darts. Fong Savith gets a header on it. Now to Packer. Here comes Simone Packer. Packer plays it in behind Maudsley. And the Lone Peak Knights back in possession here with Smith. Smith plays this one to Denny. Denny to Hamoli. Now out to Hendricks. To Zettner. Ball played in. Denny with time and space. Denny with the shot from distance. Into the hands of Lexi Lund. And an opportunity here to boot this one out. Packer trying to get on the end of it for the Darts. There's Packer. Simone Packer plays it to Willard. Willard cuts back, has options, tries to get it in. That's Maudsley in behind the shot and wide. Samantha Maudsley. So close. To getting one in here for the Darts in the early goings of this one. As ball goes out of bounds and out, a throw-in coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights in their defensive third. Ball played in, Sellers brings it in, Sellers over the top. Down now, falls to Neville. Neville in for Packer. Packer has Maudsley, crosses it in. And nicely done and read by Eliza Collings for the Lone Peak Knights. Eliza Collings, not enough good things can be said about her. Already has the state record for shutouts as a junior. And will have an opportunity to come back next year and continue to build that record for Collings. Here's Packer for the Darts. Plays it to Francis. Francis cuts inside. Packer taking a shot. And can't put that one on frame as Packer rushed the shot. with the Lone Peak defense collapsing on her. And a goal kick coming up here for the Knights as Collings boots this one out. Packers there. We'll go back. Eliza Collings off her line, and Collings collects. Could have been dangerous, but nicely read by the junior goalkeeper coming off her line. And has an opportunity here to boot this one away. Lands at that's Fuller, who brings it down. One back and stolen by the Darts. Here comes Burbage, who plays it up the sideline. Packer trying to track it down. Ruby Lee comes across, and a handball called against the Lone Peak Knights. Foul called and a free kick coming up for the Davis Darts. An opportunity to whip one into the box. Ball whipped in by Cadence Packer. Comes back out. And there's one here in the middle of the park by Lydia Neville. Neville will play it out wide to Fong Savith. Fong Savith cuts back. Gets it back out wide. Maudsley crosses it in. Collings off her line. Spilled and cleared away by Smith. The Darts looking dangerous here in the last few minutes. Foul called as Ivy Harding commits the foul, and a free kick here for the Darts. Ball played out quickly. Here comes Fong Savith. Fong Savith out wide. Ball poked in. Maudsley cuts back. Trying to get it back out wide to Burbridge, but it goes out of bounds and out. Lone Peak throw on that far sideline. Let's take the opportunity to look at the impact players of the game. We'll start with the Lone Peak Knights. And we have to talk about number 11, Sam Sellers, 20 goals on the season, 8 assists for the Lone Peak Knights. Number 5, Kate Fuller, 18 goals, 9 assists on the season. And number 7, Kate Denny, 11 goals and 9 assists. The shot from distance takes a deflection into the box. Willard goes down, booted away by the Knights. And the Knights standing strong defensively. The Darts here putting pressure on this Lone Peak backline as Maudsley brings it in. Ball played out. One of the impact players that the Lone Peak Knights can't rely on today is number 10, Bella Devi, 18 goals, 13 assists on the season. She got called up to the youth national team. So big congratulations to Bella Devi. And unfortunate she can't be here with the Lone Peak Knights, but Lone Peak here on the attack. Hendricks will play this one in off the throw. Prior to substitution coming up. Impact players for the Davis Darts. Number 2, Simone Packer, 24 goals on the season, 4 assists. Number 24, Willard with 10 goals and 5 assists. Number 7, Brooklyn Fong Savith with 7 goals and 11 assists for the Davis Darts. Those are the impact players in today's 6A championship game. Ball goes out wide to Zettner. Zettner plays it into Hamely. Hamely, Packer giving chase. Out wide now to Smith. Smith plays it and giving away dart ball. Here's Maudsley bringing it in. Maudsley turns. Tries to get it over the far sideline for Fong Savith. Now Fong Savith on the ball on the giveaway. Fong Savith goes to ground. A whistle, a foul called, and a free kick. Coming up here for the Davis Darts. 21:56 left to go in the first half. All tied up in the 6A Girls Soccer Championship between the Darts and the Knights. Davis have had some good opportunities in this first half. Comes out to Sellers. Sellers giving chase. Sellers does a good job to keep that one. Plays it back to Smith. Supports herself. Heimely now. Back out to Smith. Now Sellers. Sellers. Nicely cut out by the Darts defense. Looks like that was McKenna Kauser comes across. Makes the challenge. Boots this one away. Throw in for the Knights on the near sideline. Smith playing it into Sellers. Sellers trying to turn on Francis. Sellers with a nice little bit of footwork into the box. The cross comes in. The shot from Carter. And Lexi Lund able to collect a dangerous opportunity for the Knights as they look to try to take the lead. Carter with the shot. And ultimately, in the end, Lexi Lund comes up with the ball. Boots it away for the Darts. Comes down. Denny. Looking to play it out wide for Harding. And that one will come off of the Darts, out of bounds and out. Taken quickly. Fuller crosses it in. Headed away by Davis. Looks like that was Kauser again making the defensive play. Ball whipped in. Packer gets this one away. One back by Neville in the middle of the park. Plays it to Maudsley. Maudsley turns. Maudsley with time. Maudsley with space. Gets around Hamely. Now Maudsley up the sideline. Looking to cross one in as it goes out of bounds and out for the corner kick. Substitution coming up for the Darts. Potter will head to the bench for a breather into the game.
Davis substitution, number 11.
Is Bianca Brower for the Davis Darts. Ball whipped in by Brooklyn Fonksavet at the near post. Cleared away by the Darts. Neville trying to track this one down. Cross back in by Fonksavet. Packer's there. Can't get a head on it. Cleared away by the Knights. Lone Peak coming up big defensively again. Packer was there at the end of the cross. Couldn't get the header on it, and I believe that was Ruby Lee coming across and clearing that one away. Another corner kick coming up here for the Darts. Fonksavet crosses it in. Ball played in near post. Maudsley's there, has to play back to Fonksavet. And that one will go out of bounds and out. Not the cleanest of hits there from Brooklyn, as Lone Peak now have a chance here to clear their lines. Eliza Collings will boot this one away. Brought down by Denny. Here's Smith. Smith cuts it back, looks for support, plays it in for Denny. Kate Denny looking in the direction of Kate Fuller. And that one will just go back and fall to Lexi Lund. Ball one back in the middle by the Lone Peak Knights, only momentarily. Davis here in possession with Neville. Ball cut out. Hamely doing a fantastic job to get that back for the Knights. Here comes Sellers. Sellers cuts inside, gets it on her right. Takes a deflection. Fuller tracking this one down. Fuller looking to whip one into the box. Kauser makes the challenge. Fuller goes to ground, nothing called, and a goal kick coming up here for the Davis Darts. Substitution for the Darts as well. Ball booted away by Lexi Lund off the goal kick. And cleared away by
Substitution,
Cadence
number
Packer.
16, Vivian Fry.
Fry into the game for the Darts. Tessa Carter playing it back to Hamely. Now it's Fuller. Fuller cuts inside. Fuller gets around Neville. Fuller from distance into the hands of Lexi Lund. Senior goalkeeper coming up nicely there for the Davis Darts, and Davis have an opportunity here to clear their lines as this ball is booted away. It lands at Simone Packer. Quickly won back by the Knights. Ivy Harding. Ball given away. Here's Neville. Neville boots one up. Willard brings it down. Willard tries to get it up the sideline looking for Fry. And Vivian Fry's now to Willard. Willard gets it in. Packer near the top of the 18. Cuts back to her left. Packer takes the shot. Hamely with a deflection. Still in the box. Willard to Funk Seventh. Funk Seventh with the shot. Collings with the huge save. Eliza Collings steps up. And comes up with a huge save for the Lone Peak Knights here in the first half. Fong Savith was in behind the defense and had an opportunity to put the Darts up. And the junior goalkeeper coming up big for the number one in the RPI. Now it's Villarreal. Villarreal gets it up to Sellers. Sellers brings it down. Sellers gets it back. And nicely defended by Burbage. Darts here trying to win the ball back now with Packer. Simone Packer. Cuts into her left. Nicely defended by Smith. Heavy deflection. And the Darts regain possession. Here's Packer. Packer up to Vivian Fries. Fries cuts out to the sideline. Tries to get it up. Hannah Hamuli there doing a phenomenal job defensively, not allowing Fries to get it up the sideline and forces it out of bounds. Brooke Hendricks back into the game for the Lone Peak Knights. A throw in here for the defending champions on the near sideline. Ball played in. Harding brings it down. Intercepted by Neville. Willard over the top. Zentner will shield it off. Collings off her line, and Eliza Collings doing a good job to come out and collect. Collings will now boot this one away. Denny. Brower winning it back for the Darts. Hendricks doing a phenomenal job to steal that one away. Packer boots it away for the Darts. Denny trying to battle it out. Fong Savith there. Out of bounds and out. We have a throw-in coming up for the Davis Darts over on that far sideline. Packer clears this one away for the Darts. Ball goes out of bounds and out. Francis to throw it in for Davis. Quickly won back by Lone Peak. Carter brings it down. Booted away by Fong Savith. Now it's Willard. Willard using her physicality to bring that one down. Francis. And that one up the sideline. It goes out of bounds, and now over on the far sideline, a throw-in coming up for the Lone Peak Knights. With 12:40 left to go here in the first. The 6A championship game all tied up at 0-0. Ball stolen by the Darts. And that one safely into the hands of Eliza Collings. Collings here to boot this one away. Denny now flicks it through. Nicely done. Tessa Carter brings it in. Back to Denny. Denny looking to play it up the sideline. Hendricks giving chase. Francis covering. And Francis doing a good job defensively for the Darts. Shields that one away. as it goes out of bounds and out. The goal kick coming up here for the Davis Darts. Lexi Lund with an opportunity to boot this one away. Lund gets it off. Poked down by Brower. It goes out of bounds and out. We'll have a throw-in for the Knights coming up on that far sideline. Substitution prior to as Samantha Sellers checking back into the game. Off comes Ivy Harding.
Number 11, Sam Sellers.
Ivy Harding, who scored a golazo in the semifinal to open the scoring for the Lone Peak Knights late in that first half. Lexi Lund off her line collects. Nicely done by the senior goalkeeper as she boots this one away. Willard battling out for it against Zettner. Zettner doing a good job coming across defensively, sees that one out. Substitution coming up for the Davis Darts as Willard heading to the bench for a breather. Checking in, Avery Johnson.
For Davis, number 33, Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson throws it in for the Darts in her first action. Now a throw in for Johnson again. Johnson brought down by Neville. Ball booted away by the Knights. Johnson trying to play it back in. Hamley clears this one out for the Knights. Here's Carter, who plays it over the top. And that one will just go safely into the hands of Lexi Lund. Ten minutes left to go in the first. Still tied up at 0-0 here between the Lone Peak Knights and the Davis Darts. Davis here trying to get into the attack with Packer. Packer cuts it back, looks for support. Packer tries to take the shot on. Defended by Kate Denny. Now Denny coming the other way for Lone Peak. Cuts inside. Plays it to Hedrick. Hedrick to Hamley. Hamley back to Hedrick. Paige Hedrick up the sideline to Sellers. Sellers gets around Burbage into the box. Samantha Sellers. Ball poked away. Sellers trying to track it down. Goes out of bounds and a corner kick. Coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Substitution in the offing as well. Kate Fuller back into the game, as well as Ivy Harding back into the game.
Ivy Harding.
Coming off will be number 8, Paige Hedrick, as well as number 9, Tessa Carter. Corner kick and a set piece opportunity coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Everybody lined up at the back post. Ball whipped in, goes back post. Lund punches it away. And it's going to go out the other end for a throw-in as Lone Peak can retain possession here in the attacking third. Lone Peak looking to play it quick. Ball into Hamley. Now back out wide. Nice step over from Harding. Harding trying to cross it into the box. Francis is there, boots it away for the Darts. Packer tracking it down for Davis. Simone Packer getting it to Vivian Fries. Fries tries to get around Smith. Nicely defended by Eiley Smith. Ball thrown in by Burbage. Burbage now boots this one up. And ball comes in. Brought down by Ivy Harding. Harding. Ball booted away. And a foul called. Free kick coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. $7:20 left to go. Let's see what Lone Peak can do here off the free kick. An opportunity to whip one into the box and create some chaos in front of Lexi Lund's goal. The number 1 in the RPI looking to break the deadlock prior to the halftime break. Ball booted in right in front of goal, headed away by Packer. track down Ivy Harding for the Knights. Harding, step over. Harding, back out. Nicely done, Ivy Harding. Now Burbage comes across, shields that one, and gets it away for the Davis Darts. Burbage coming up huge defensively for Davis. Packer turns. Packer up the sideline. Simone Packer cuts inside, looks for support. Trying to get around Villarreal, but Ada Villarreal doing a phenomenal job defensively. The sophomore comes up. Now out to Sellers. And that ball goes out of bounds. And now Villarreal, who had the goal line clearance in the last one for the Davis Starts. Her and Ruby Lee's partnership on the defensive side of the ball for the Lone Peak Knights are a big reason as to why they have only allowed 7 goals. Villarreal and Ruby Lee have been phenomenal together this season. Ball back in play. Headed away. Smith is there. Smith trying to poke it through now. Does. And now Fuller lets it bounce. Or excuse me, that's Harding letting it bounce. Smith. Denny.
Substitution number 5, McKenna Jones.
Out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up here for Lone Peak with 5:20 left to go on the clock. It'll be Smith to throw it in for Lone Peak. Denny tries to flick it through with a header. Neville boots this one out. Kate Fuller doing a good job keeping possession. Goes to ground. A foul called as Brooklyn Fongsavith and Simone Packer taking down Kate Fuller. And a free kick here for the Lone Peak Knights. Ball booted over the top. Smith. Lexi Lund is there, and Lexi Lund collects. What a kick from Eiley Smith. And nicely read by Lexi Lund. Ball up the sideline. That one will just roll through, go out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up here for the Davis Starts. Time winding down here in the first half. Evenly matched between the two sides. Davis started off with some really good opportunities, trying to get in behind that Lone Peak defense, forced Collings into a couple of big saves, and then momentum shifted to Lone Peak. Lexi Lund came up, made a couple of big saves as well. Evenly matched as we're all squared with 3:25 left to go here in the first. Harding winning it for Lone Peak. Harding plays it to Fuller. Fuller from distance. Can't put it on frame. That shot from Kate Fuller goes wide of the post, out of bounds and out. A goal kick coming up here for the Davis Starts as Lexi Lund boots this one out. One back quickly by the Knights. Here comes Fuller stepping up. Fuller trying to poke one through to Hendricks. And now giving chase is Neville. Does a good job to poke it out. Brought down by Johnson. Johnson up the sideline. Johnson to Neville. Neville playing it back to the overlapping run of Johnson. Johnson up the sideline. Sellers coming back to defend. Cuts back. Nicely done and poked away by Sam Sellers. Samantha Sellers, who had the hat trick in last year's championship game, as the Lone Peak Knights defeated American Fork 5-0 in that 6A championship game for state championship number 2. Lone Peak here trying to go back-to-back and take home number 3. Ball booted away by the Knights. Packer tracking this, that's Francis, who goes to ground. A foul called and a free kick as Brooke Hendricks called for the foul. 1:40 left to go. Cadence Packer to boot this one away for the Davis Darts. Packer will float it over the top. Nicely cut out by Denny. Sellers gets it to Denny. Denny now up to Harding. Harding trying to turn. Harding keeping possession. Harding still cuts back. Gets it to Hamley. Hamley cuts it back. Now out wide to Denny. Denny into Harding. Ivy Harding. Harding again. Harding getting it to Denny. Denny. Ball bounces out. Ends up at Sellers. Sellers cuts out to the end line. Sellers nicely defended by the Davis Darts as that one goes out of bounds and out. A goal kick coming up here for Davis with 35 seconds left. Ball booted away. Lands at Hamley. Out of bounds once more. A throw-in coming up, this time for the Davis Darts. Ball played in. Packer trying to bring it in. Defended by Smith. Here comes Sellers. Sellers playing it to Smith. Smith back in, looking for Harding. Booted away by Potter.
4, 3, 2,
and that
1, 0.
will do it. Here for the first half, we have reached the end of the first half, and we are all tied up between the number 1 Lone Peak Knights and the number 3 Davis Darts.
Here at the stadium today.
Couple of good opportunities for both sides, but right now the defense is standing strong and the goalkeepers coming up with some good saves to keep this one level at 0-0.
Get yours soon.
We're going to take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Don't go anywhere. Second half action of the 6A Girls Soccer Championship coming up next here on KSLSports.com.
Athlete of the week.
Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Alex Napoles here with you at Zions Bank Stadium. We get ready to start the second half of the 6A Girls Soccer Championship game between the Lone Peak Knights and the Davis Darts. Good, evenly matched first half between these two sides. Davis had a couple of good opportunities, forced Eliza Collings into a couple of big saves. Lexi Lund also coming up big for the Darts. Been a battle of the defenses and battle of the goalkeepers so far in this one, as we are tied up at 0-0 to start the second half. It will be the Lone Peak Knights in the black shooting to the right of your screen here in the second half, and it will be the Davis Darts in their all whites going to the left. Getting ready, the final preparations to start the second half. And we are underway. Lone Peak got us started in half number 2 of the 6A Girls Soccer Championship game. Ball booted away. And quickly out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up for the Knights over on the far sideline. Ball played in, lands at Sellers. Sellers defended by Burbage. Sellers now looking back for Hamley. Cut out by Fong Savith, who clears this one away. Willard tracking it down. Willard does a good job to get a boot on it. And now Maudsley trying to track it down for Davis. One back by the Knights. Quickly one back. And now here's Harding. Harding will play it to Denny. Denny over the top. Packer heads it away. Lands at Potter. Hendricks there trying to win it back, and Hendricks does. Brooke Hendricks cuts it back. Booted away by the darts. Hamley defended by Willard. And Neville coming the other way. Davis back in possession. Fong Savith goes out wide to Burbage. Burbage trying to play one in and can't connect with her teammate. It goes out of bounds and out. A goal kick coming up here for the Knights. Eliza Collings has a chance here to boot this one away off the goal kick for Lone Peak. As Collings will boot this one away. Lands at Fong Savith. Now out wide to Smith as the Knights back in possession. Here's Neville. Darts winning it back. Here's Maudsley. Maudsley for Potter. Potter back to Maudsley. Booted away by Zettner. And Hendricks for the Knights. Settles it for Harding. Harding back in the middle. It's Fuller. Fuller to Hendricks. Back to Fuller. Fuller plays it through. Hendricks into the box and cleared away by Francis. Marley Francis coming up huge for the Davis Starts as this one's booted away. And Francis cutting off the opportunity from Hendricks. Lone Peak still with possession. The ball played in. Comes down to Fuller. Fuller playing it back to Hamley. Now out wide to Smith. Ball booted away. Packer gets it out to Fong Savith. Now Willard. Defended by Villarreal. Here's Willard. Willard plays it back to Fong Savith. Fong Savith now trying to get it back in. And that one will go out of bounds and out for the Lone Peak goal kick. Nicely done defensively by the Knights to see that one out. As Collings here will clear this one away. Fong Savith in possession for the Darts. Ball cleared away, out of bounds and out. Davis to throw it in. Now comes to Packer. Packer tries to cross it in, takes a deflection off of Ruby Lee. That was Hamley. Throw in here for Davis. As Neville trying to bring that one in, can't. Takes a bounce over Neville, out of bounds and out for the Lone Peak goal kick. Great turnout here for both sides. Took a while. The Lone Peak side here on the near side now full. You can also see over on that far side a good turnout. Hendricks into the box. Hendricks with the shot, and Hendricks with the goal! Brooke Hendricks for the Lone Peak Knights! What a ball played in behind the defense! And Brooke Hendricks puts it into the back of the net, past Lexi Lund, and in for the Lone Peak Knights. They lead it 1-0. Ball back in play, Davis will look to respond and look to respond quick. They now trail 1-0 thanks to that goal from Brooke Hendricks here for Lone Peak. Ball back in play. Harding turns. Harding back into Fuller. Fuller looking for options. Fuller takes it out now. Pass Packer into the box. Takes the shot over the bar. So close from Kate Fuller. Good opportunity for Lone Peak. Trying to extend their lead. And can't keep that one on frame. Ball booted away here by Lexi Lund. Quickly won back by the Knights. Here comes Fuller. Ball over the top. And Burbage will see that one out into the hands of Lexi Lund. Ball booted away by Lund. Packer bringing it down for the Darts. Stolen away. Here comes Zettner. Now for Lone Peak. Zettner to the goal scorer Hendricks. In for Harding. Nicely defended by Potter. Stolen by Harding. Cuts to her left. Gets it past Neville Harding from distance. And can't put that one on frame as it'll go out of bounds and out for the goal kick. 33 minutes left to go here in the second. The Darts lead it 1-0 thanks to the goal from Brooke Hendricks. Ball played in by Francis. Bounces over Maudsley, out of bounds and out once more. Throw in here, Francis. Maudsley with the header, flicks it through. Willard trying to get to it. Ruby Lee doing a good job defensively. And Danny can't get to that one. Hamely. A foul called and a free kick coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Taken quickly by the Knights. Ruby Lee to Hamely. Packer trying to win that one back. Ball booted away by Isley Smith. Now it's Hendricks. Hendricks gets past Neville, plays it to Sellers. Sellers cuts it back. Waits for the overlapping run. Sellers with the shot. And that one just barely over the bar as well. The Lone Peak Knights here unlocking this Davis Darts defense. Back-to-back good opportunities for the Knights following the goal from Brooke Hendricks. Quickly back now with the Knights. Ball put away by Packer. Burbage against Sellers. Sellers taking it up the sideline. Sellers trying to cross it in, takes a deflection. Sellers still on the ball. The cross comes in. Fuller's there. The shot takes the deflection out to Denny. Denny with the shot and cleared away by the Davis Darts. Now out. And Heimely goes to ground. A foul called and a free kick. Coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights, an opportunity to boot this one away. Ruby Lee standing over it to take. And as Lone Peak lead at 1-0, ball booted over the top. Smith to take. Now out, Brooklyn Fong Savith for Davis. Trying to turn the other way, trying to hit on a quick counter. Ball now for Packer. Simone Packer floats one in. Ruby Lee is there defensively. And Villarreal boots it away. Comes back down to Potter. Potter trying to get it to Francis. Huge defensive stop by Kate Fuller. Now it's the goal scorer, Hendricks, trying to get it back up the sideline. Goes out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up here for Lone Peak. Nicely done. Harding gets it out. Fuller booted away by Cowser. Davis trying to retain possession. Packer with the header. Hamley brings it down. Now it's Harding. Gets around one. Can't get around two. Nicely done by Davis. Potter there with the interception and the defensive stop. Quickly one back by Lone Peak. Now here's the Darts. And now the Knights back in possession. Hamley turns, looks for support, gets it out to Hendricks. Hendricks with a nice flick over Francis. Packer comes across, can't get to it, and Packer has to clear this one out. Throw-in coming up for the Knights here on the near sideline. They lead it 1-0 as we'll have a stoppage in play. There's a Lone Peak player down behind the play. And it looks to be Hannah Hamley. With 28:47 left to go here in the second half. The Lone Peak Knights lead it thanks to a goal from Brooke Hendricks. Welcome back into Zions Bank Stadium. Hannah Heimely back on her feet, able to come over to the near sideline to the Lone Peak bench and hope that she has the opportunity to return soon. Francis for the Darts, puts this one out. Quickly one back by the Knights. Potter stepping up, trying to win it back. Here's Harding. And now that ball goes out of bounds and out. Lone Peak throw. Denny brings it down. Denny to Harding. Harding trying to get it back to Denny. Heavy touch, but Denny's there as Denny now gets it out wide. This is Hedrick. Hedrick out to Sellers. Sellers into the box. Sellers. Fuller with the shot. And Lexi Lund coming up with a save to keep this one at 1-0. Nicely done by the Knights. Sellers finds Fuller all by herself inside the box. And now the Darts trying to come the other way. Quickly went back by Lone Peak. Denny to Fuller. Fuller with time and space. Poked away by Fong Savith. It lands at Sellers. Lone Peak still on the attack with Sam Sellers. Gets around one. Sellers up the sideline, cuts it back, looks for support. Now it plays it in, and we'll have a throw-in coming up for the Darts as they say that that one did go out. A throw-in coming up here for Davis, played in, Packer bringing it down. Packer goes to ground, a foul called, and a free kick coming up for the Davis Darts with 26:45 left to go in the second. Ball booted away by Packer. Comes down now for Davis. Fong Savith tries to save that one from going out. Does. Now Fong Savith up the sideline. Has a chance here to cross it in. Does. Takes the deflection out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up for the Davis Darts in the attacking third. Ball in. Packer brings it down. Packer cuts up the side. Crosses it in. And too close. Eliza Collins able to read that one well. Collects. And here has an opportunity to put this one away and clear the pressure for the Lone Peak Knights. Collins boots this one out. Out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up for Davis. Potter looking for options. Ball in. And Ruby Lee comes across, gets it to Zettner. That ball will go out of bounds. Lone Peak throwing it in. Brought down by Denny. Ball over the top. Ivy Harding giving chase. Packer gets to it. Kauser's there. Back to Packer. A heavy pass. It'll go back to Lund. Lund boots this one away. Simone Packer now trying to track it down in the middle of the park. Does. Brought in by the Davis captain. Samantha Sellers seals it away. And Burbage does a good job there to shield it as Davis with the throw. Davis taking it quick. Willard up the sideline. Willard trying to cross it in. Nicely defended by Villarreal. As Ada Villarreal, the sophomore, they'll say it took a touch off of the sophomore, and so we'll have a corner kick coming up for the Davis Stars prior to a substitution for Davis as Vivian Fries gets ready to check back in. Off comes Maudsley. Corner kick and a set piece opportunity coming up here for the Davis Stars.
Vivian Fry.
Fong Savith to take the corner. Couple of players crowding Collings just in front of her goal, and so the official says, just heads into the box, make sure everything's in order. Now the cross comes in from Fong Savith. Ball whipped in, back in towards the mix. Packer was there with the header. Lone Peak trying to clear this one away, takes a deflection, and a throw-in coming up for the Knights. Harding bringing it down. Trying to get it back to Hendricks. Poked away by the darts, lands at Francis. Francis boots it in towards the middle. Hedrick is there. Nicely cut out by Francis again. Goes back to Cadence Packer. Cadence Packer will go back to Lund. Lund boots this one out. Packer tracking it down. Fuller trying to steal it. And Packer has to force this one out for the corner. And a corner kick opportunity coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Looking to extend this lead. It will be Harding heading over to that far sideline to take the corner. Harding to whip it in. Set piece opportunity here for the Knights. Everybody lined up at the back of the 18. The cross comes in. Cleared away by Davis. Fuller taking a shot from distance. Can't put it on frame. Out of bounds and out, a goal kick coming up here for the Davis Starts. Ball booted away by Lexi Lund. Knights trying to win it back into possession quickly. Here comes Brooklyn Fong Savith. Plays it to Vivian Fries. Takes a heavy touch. Zedner now comes across. Boots it away for the Knights. This is Hedrick. Hedrick supports herself with Denny. Denny plays it to Fuller. Fuller against Kauser. Back out to Harding. Harding with the shot from distance. As that one goes over and out for the goal kick. Substitutions getting ready for both sides. Lexi Lund will boot this one out. Falls to Fuller. And booted away by the darts. Villarreal takes a bounce off of Willard. Ruby Lee can't get to it. Lee has to recover, and Lee clears this one away. Could have been dangerous, but nice recovery by the senior defender in Ruby Lee. Boots this one out. Out of bounds over on that far side for a Davis throw. Throwing for the darts in the attacking third. Ball played back in. Poked out by Vivian Fries. And a collision. Ball goes out of bounds. Davis will retain possession with a throw-in on that far sideline. Looking to keep the ball in the attacking third. Poked away by Sellers. Ball crossed in. Fong Savith tries to flick it through. Fries was there, but Eliza Cullings off her line. Reads it well. And Eliza Cullings coming up big for the Knights. Could have been dangerous. Brooklyn Fong Savith flicking that one through. Vivian Fries was running off of it, but good heads up play by the Lone Peak goalkeeper. Packer now gets this one away, throw in for the Knights in the attacking third. Here come the substitutions. Tessa Carter back into the game. Macy Levitt checking in, as well as Hannah Haymuli for the Lone Peak Knights. Avery Johnson in for Davis.
Also in the Davis lineup, a correction Lone Peak lineup, number 27, Hannah Haymuli.
Throwing for the Darts over on the far sideline, brought in by Carter. Carter with the heavy touch. Now leaves it for Levitt. Macy Levitt cuts back, the freshman. Looking for support. Ball goes out of bounds, and now another throw-in coming up here for the Knights. Ball in for Carter. Carter turns. Carter cuts back, looks for support. Pokes it out for Hedrick. Hedrick to Haymuli. Haymuli playing it to Carter. Haymuli again gets a boot on it. Bounces over. Lone Peak trying to stay onto the attack. Ball will go out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up here for Zettner on the near sideline. Lone Peak in possession. Ball in for Carter. Ball comes back out. Lone Peak will retain possession with a throw-in here on the near sideline. Zettner to throw it in. Zettner to Carter. Carter to Hendricks. Hendricks crosses it in. Back post. Nobody there to crash on the end of it. It'll go out of bounds and out. A goal kick for the Darts prior to substitution coming up for the Davis Darts. Neville back into the game for Davis.
Davis substitution number 10, Lydia Neville.
As Potter heads to the bench for a breather. Ball lands at Fong Savith. Tries to cut it back. Out of bounds and out. A throw-in. Fong Savith boots one towards goal. And that one just goes out of bounds and out. For the goal kick. Back into the game, Kate Denny in for the Lone Peak Knights off, and Ivy Harding. Off comes the goal scorer, Brooke Hendricks, as well as Paige Hedrick. Out of bounds and out, cleared away by the Knights. A throw-in coming up for Davis. Ball back in play by the Darts. Looking to play it up the sideline towards Fries. Ball whipped into the box towards the top of the 18. Fong Savith lets it bounce. Macy Levitt there for the Lone Peak Knights. Stolen away. Here come the Darts. Back to Fong Savith. Fong Savith tries to get it back towards the sideline. Packer trying to track that one down. Here comes Lone Peak with Ivy Harding. Ivy Harding whips it in. Tries to go towards the far back post for Levitt, who is running in. Cleared away by Davis. Now Packer clears this one away again. Brought down by Denny. Denny goes to Harding. Harding with the heavy touch. Able to track this one down. Here comes Harding. Nice cut inside by Ivy Harding. Still on the ball. Plays it to Carter. Carter cuts. Carter to Fuller. Fuller brings it down. Pokes it through to Harding. Harding now near the top of the 18. Cleared away by the Davis Darts. Davis tracking it down defensively, shielding this one, and has to get it away. Macy Levitt there threatening. A throw-in for the Lone Peak Knights. in the attacking third. Ball played in. That one goes out of bounds and out. A goal kick coming up for the Davis Darts. Prior to substitutions for both sides as well. Sam Sellers heading back into the game for Lone Peak. Etuati in for Davis, as well as Maudsley in for Davis. Ball poked by Kate Denny, trying to retain possession. Hey, Mully. One back by Packer. And that one goes back to Burbage. Ball booted over the top. Etsuwati trying to get to it. And that one goes safely into the hands of Eliza Collings. Collings here will boot this one up and away. Now it's Harding. Harding gets it back out to Sellers. Sellers with time and space. Sellers into the box, crosses it in, goes across the face of goal. Tessa Carter and Kate Fuller both there. Can't get on the end of it. Davis will throw it in now on the near sideline. Good opportunity for Lone Peak as that cross came in and there was no marks. No defensive mark on Fuller and Tessa Carter. Lone Peak trying to get back into the attacking third here with Zettner. Brought down, booted away. Now here's Burbage who puts this one away. Now it's Packer, pokes it through to Fong Savith. Fong Savith towards the sideline as Fong Savith goes to ground. Here's an opportunity. Vivian Fries trying to get around Villarreal, but Villarreal comes up and boots that one away for Lone Peak. Ball back in play. Packer brings it down for Davis. Packer up the sideline against Hamley. The cross comes in, and Collings and one of her defenders not on the same page there ends up taking a deflection off of the defense, out of bounds and out. A corner kick coming up for Davis as Fong Savith crosses it in near post. Nobody there but Fuller, who clears it away. Burbage trying to whip one back into the box. Packer is there, takes a bounce. Collings off her line. And Eliza Collings does a great job to collect. Now we have an offside called. Offside's called here against the Davis Darts. As they'll say Packer came from an offsides possession. Ball booted away. Giving chase here is Zettner. Zettner boots it out and away. Throw in for Davis on the near sideline. Ball played in. Packer brings it in. Packer cuts inside. Packer looking for options. Gets it to Cowser. Cowser back to Packer. Packer, nicely done by Kate Denny. Denny with a nice little bit of skill there to keep possession for the Lone Peak Knights. Here comes Harding. Harding cuts it back. Inside now for Harding. Goes out wide to Sellers. Sellers lets it bounce. Booted away by the Darts. Etsuwati trying to get to it and does. Here's Etsuwati for the Davis Darts. Goes out to the sideline. Defended by Villarreal. Played back to Fong Savith. Brooklyn Fong Savith using her skills to try to get that back towards the sideline. Booted away by the Lone Peak Knights. Throw in for Davis on that far sideline. Fong Savith playing it quick. Defended by Villarreal. Out wide, looking back for Fong Savith. Can't connect. It'll go out of bounds and out. A throw-in coming up for Lone Peak, with substitutions coming up for the Knights as Hendricks, the goal scorer, back into the game. Off comes Tessa Carter. .9:45 left to go here in the second half. The Lone Peak Knights lead it 1-0 thanks to that goal from Brooke Hendricks. That shot from distance goes over and out for the goal kick. 1-0, 9:30 left. Davis trailing 1-0. Haven't had too many opportunities to test Eliza Collings in this one, as the Lone Peak defense doing a good job shutting down this Davis attacks. Do they have a goal in them? Do they have an equalizer in them here in the final under 9 to go? Kauser out wide. Ball booted away. Burbage to throw it in. Headed away by Denny. Brought down Harding, flicks it through to Fuller. Fuller back to Harding, and Harding has options. Harding to Sellers. Sellers taking it towards the sideline. Trying to get around her mark. Does. Here's Samantha Sellers. Gets around one, gets around two. Sellers crosses it in. And that one goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. With 8:15 left to go, substitution coming up here for the Davis Darts. Etuati heading back to the bench for a breather. Back into the game will be number 24, Kate Willard, one of the top goal scorers for the Davis Darts. Willard also had a goal in the semifinal game against the Sentinels. That ball out of bounds and out. Lone Peak to throw it in. Over on that far sideline, Smith to throw it in. Hailey Smith gets it in. Now it's Denny. Denny looking in the direction of Fuller, headed away by the Darts. Davis clears. Quickly won back by the Knights. And now in possession is Davis with Kauser. Or excuse me, that's Maudsley. Maudsley trying to get around Fuller. Fuller comes up, makes a challenge, and Kate Fuller called for the foul. Or excuse me, that's Kate Denny called for the foul. Foul and a free kick coming up here for the Davis Darts. Packer to take. Cadence Packer whips it into the box, goes for goal, spilled, and saved! Booted away off the line! Cleared away! Some way, somehow, that ball spilled in front of Eliza Collings. And defensively, the Knights able to boot this one away. I think that was Ruby Lee with the goal line clearance. Ada Villarreal had one in the semifinals, and now Ruby Lee gets one here in the championship game. We'll have a stoppage in play as the official heading over to take a look at Eliza Collings, who took the worst of that one. Collings now with 6:01 left to go. Eliza Collings will carry on here for the Lone Peak Knights. And we'll have A Davis throw coming up here. And we're going to add time back to the clock prior to getting the game restarted. And it looks like we'll go to 6:14 left on the clock. As we get the ball back in play. Davis in possession. Ball goes out wide. And now here come the Darts in possession. Ball played up. Willard trying to get it back out to Fries. Ball booted away. Stowers boots this one out. Willard lets it bounce. Packer bringing it in. Leaves it for Fong Savith up the sideline. Here's Fries. Trying to cross this one in. Defended by Smith. Looking for support. Now played in. Cowser brings it down. Heavy touch. And cleared away by the Lone Peak Knights. Now Lone Peak coming the other way. Off the counter. Nicely defended by Davis. Ball booted out. 5:20 left to go in the second half. Lone Peak leads it. The defending champion leads it. 1-0 thanks to a goal from Brooke Hendricks. Davis desperately trying to find an equalizer. Lone Peak trying to find an insurance goal. Time winding down here in the 6A championship game. Harding in the middle of the park. Harding plays it to Zettner. Zettner with time and space. Zettner to Hendricks. Hendricks cuts it back. Step over into the box. Hendricks crosses it in. Takes a deflection. Booted away by Maudsley. Throw in coming up for the Lone Peak Knights here in the attacking third. And an opportunity to take some time off this clock. Hendricks gets it into Harding. And Harding can't bring it in. Goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Davis Darts. Lexi Lund to boot this one away. Nicely done there by the Lone Peak student section. As Lone Peak trying to get the ball back. Here's Zettner, boots this one away. Comes down and booted out by Burbage. Throw in for Lone Peak on the near sideline. Maudsley intercepts. Maudsley can't keep as that one goes out of bounds and out. A throw in for Lone Peak. Harding headed into Fuller. Cowser cuts it out. Davis back in possession. Stowers plays it up to Packer. Simone Packer brings it in. Looking for options. Plays it back to Stowers. Now here's Packer.
A reminder, everyone, to stay off the pitch.
Trying to get it into Fong Savith. Can't connect.
Go onto the field. Thank you.
And now it's Ellie Stowers. Back to Stowers. Ball booted in. Nicely flicked by Potter. Off the head of Ruby Lee and safely into the hands of Eliza Collings with 2:20 left to go. Lone Peak have an opportunity here to boot this one away. Brought down, Hendricks. Ball back with the darts. Zettner collects for the Knights. Denny tracks it down. Harding brings it in. Trying to get it back to Kate Denny. Ball back in play. Johnson throws it in. Willard looking for Packers. Now here comes Fuller. Going the other way on a quick counter. Fuller goes down. Packer is going to see yellow. A yellow card caution issued here to Simone Packer with 1:31 left on the clock. Packer will have to come off, and Lone Peak get the free kick.
Number 2, Simone Packer of Davis. Davis substitution number 10, Lydia Neville.
.131 left to go. Ball back in play. Denny. Ball goes out of bounds and out. A throw in coming up here for the Knights on the near sideline. Zettner to throw it in. Zettner up to Hendricks. Johnson gets a header on it, comes off of Johnson, out of bounds and out. Zettner to throw it in again for the Knights here on the near sideline. Under a minute left to play. Hendricks. Neville trying to win that one. Denny commits the foul. Davis want to take it quick. Need to take it quick. Ball booted away by Packer. Comes down to Fuller. Fuller gets it up. Potter trying to track it down. Harding gets it back out to Fuller. Fuller carries against Potter. Potter makes the challenge, a foul and a free kick. Coming up here for Lone Peak. Time ticking away. Seconds left. Ball played into the back of the net, of the corner, or of the free kick, and that'll do it. $2-0 for the Knights. With 1 second left on the clock.
Students, please get off of the pitch. Please get off of the field at this time. Thank you.
The free kick sneaks into the top corner. Lone Peak leads by 2, 1 second left.
Goal, Lone Peak. Lone Peak 2. Davis 0.
Ball back in play, and that will do it. How about back-to-back state champions for the Lone Peak Knights?
Students and spectators, please stay off the field.
An undefeated season for the number 1 in the RPI, and they will hold the 6A trophy up once again. Title number 3 for Lone Peak.
Teams have had an opportunity to shake hands. We'll continue with our award ceremony.
Chaos there at the ending as Lone Peak doubles the lead off the free kick. Brooke Hendricks with the first goal. And Lone Peak take down the Davis Darts. It's the number 1 going back to back. And we'll take state championship number 3. For the Davis Darts, they will fall to 17-4 overall on the year. And under first-year head coach Dylan Richens, able to fight their way to the championship game. Hard-fought battle today, had a lot of good opportunities. But in the end, it's Lone Peak's defense coming up big, clearing one off the line. And had Ruby Lee not had that goal line clearance, the Davis Darts might be playing for overtime, but instead, Ruby Lee coming up with a huge defensive stop. And we get ready for the trophy presentations here for 6A.
Representing the Utah High School Activities Association is Chris Shipman, Assistant Director of the UHSAA. We begin the award ceremonies with a presentation of the second place trophy to the Davis Darts.
Second place trophy here to be presented to the Davis Darts. And the celebrations begin here at midfield as we get ready to present the Lone Peak Knights
who will present the state championship trophy to the Lone Peak Knights.
with the trophy. Hand it off, and there it is! The Lone Peak Knights 6A state champions. Back-to-back titles for the number 1 in the RPI. Everybody smiling, celebrating, taking pictures as Lone Peak goes back-to-back and remain at the top of the 6A mountain and retain their crown. Congratulations to the Lone Peak Knights 6A state champions. That's going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. I'm Alex Napolis. Big shout out to Vince Francis on the camera. And from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere. More championship action when we return. It's the 4A Championships Mountain Crest taking on Timpanogos. Coming up next on KSLSports.com.